All right, it is time. This is the infinite game. Well, this is the infinite investment game, and I'll talk about alternative investments, collectibles, and the history and just my opinions of what drives these markets. And specifically, I'll be talking about sports cards. And today, I'm basically just talking about who are the people who actually benefited from the sports card boom. And there's different lists of people. There are some collectors and sports card investors who got in, and speculators who got in extremely early. They got in 2018, 19, and then they sold in 2020, 2021. If you got in then and you were buying some of the best players or whoever, and you actually sold, you're doing very, very well. Or if you're thinking about selling now, you probably still did well. Unfortunately, the people who are investing in cards and investing in wax aren't really the ones who benefit the most. There are some people, there will be success stories, but I think it's over exaggerated. The actual people who benefit from this sports card boom, I'm going to start from the least, well, the ones who benefit the least to the ones who benefit the most. And I just talked about the people who are in cards, who are in there, collectors, flippers, speculators, investors. These people are ones who benefit the least. It's similar to people rushing to the West to buy picks, whatever equipment they need to invest in and mine gold. That's basically what it is. They're basically kind of like this is the gold rush, and people need the equipment, and the people who are selling the equipment to these gold miners are the ones who benefited the most. And that's something that people don't really understand, and people don't really um, just focus on. So if you invested in PSA, the company, or you invested in some of these companies, then you made quite a bit of money. If you have some kind of deal where your YouTube channel or podcast, or you have some kind of media channel that you started and you're getting paid from that, you're going to benefit, and you're probably going to make a little bit more than just flipping sports cars. They're probably in it buying and selling sports cars as well, but they're also making money from content that they create. The next one is, I think people aren't really thinking about this, are the people who are doing these memberships. If you pay for this membership, they give you card picks, they give you information about the card market. The people who started these, like, sports card investors, I guess sports card consultant and sports card invest, I think, and also the high upside. I haven't seen much of what they've made recently, but these are some examples. There are a few more people who charge that, and they give these picks. Now they're most of them not doing it anymore, just because the market is going. There are some are still doing it, but they're not doing it anymore just because the market is continuing to go down, and a lot of these picks aren't even working out. Even if they are winning a championship or winning MVP and stuff like that, the market kind of already goes down just because the market was already overinflated and overhyped. And when everything was going up, it was easy to say, oh, a few weeks ago or a few months ago, my pick did this. And if you want to make 10 extra money in a week or in a few months, listen to us, pay this membership monthly, and you'll get this stuff. And then for a high end people, the fancy people, you can spend 5,000 for this, and it'll turn into 100,000. And people are gullible, people are new to the market, and that's what they do when you don't need that. And at one point, these groups actually control a lot of the market, so you see stuff just go crazy, and then more people just jump on and buy even more overpriced cars, and they just flip and sell to them. So, and the other issue is a lot of these people who had this, either they were pumping the stuff and then selling it to the people they were telling to buy, or they had friends or family selling to these people. And it was already kind of set up where, hey, I got my PWCC auction going to be starting. You know, these are the cars you need to get. And it's like, oh, they're hitting the market within this next week. And that's a bit of an issue there. The other one who really benefit are the ones who build these analytical tools to see what's going on in the market. The truth of the matter is, you need a market to determine like what humans are doing and predict human behavior. And you have to do more than what the athlete does and doesn't do, but you have to look at the whole economic system, the macroeconomic system, and also major events in the world and predict that as well. As far as I know, that's impossible. But you do get this data, and everyone else gets this data who pays, which is probably a lot of people. And then you all have the same information, so you don't actually have an advantage. And then you're just paying a monthly subscription for something, and really just to be more confused in a sense. But the people who made the tool are making the most money. They got the subscribers, you know, they kind of manipulate everything, and they probably wait to add certain prices for things, or if things are too low or too high, they may not even add them. So that is kind of a form of market manipulation. Auction houses does it as well. And a lot of these people are also making content too. So they're doing all three. They're making content, they're giving you the picks, and then they got this analytical tool to tell you what the prices are. And tell you over a longer period of history, even though there are some things that can help you already, that are out there for free. Then the next thing is, who really benefit from all of this are the grading companies, because people feel like they need grading to be successful in the hobby. So they send enormous amounts of cards and money to these grading companies. And it doesn't matter if the grade comes back a 1 for a modern card or a PSA 10 or BGS 10, you know, and they're not going to send it back to you and say, oh, well, these aren't really investment grade, unless there's certain kind of group submitters that you can do, and they look through your cards. You can look through them yourself, and then they look through them. They don't charge you. That could be allowed. That could be helpful. But for the most part, you know, grading companies aren't, and the group submitters are the ones who are benefiting, not really the people who are sending them in most of the time. Some people do, and they have really high grades and they sell very high and all that. The next group is auction houses. I mean, we send our stuff to auction houses, whereas PWCC, Probe, Steam 123, Golden, Heritage. I mean, I would consider Alt that way as well. And what happens is people want to send their money to you, sell their stuff for top dollar. eBay, auctions, whatever. These platforms where you sell stuff, it's really helped their business. My Slabs, which is not an auction house, but is a platform to sell. I guess Star Stock for a while, Slab Stock for a little bit. These are the people who are actually making money. And also including grading companies, because they're all in cahoots. The grading company, and not only the grading company is doing this and auction houses, but BlackRock owns some of these grading companies and auction houses. I'll do another video on that. But that's just another thing that's going on right now. It's still a bit of a problem. And then I think the big one is people don't understand that the card companies are benefiting in a major way. They're raising the prices from stuff, the boom. It doesn't matter. Like, the stuff is still going to sell out. So especially when the secondary market is hot. So they're winning no matter what, no matter if the product is good or bad, because people are still going to buy it. That's pretty unfortunate. So a lot of people come into the market and think, oh, I'm not making much money. You still can, but it's a lot harder. And I think it's going to make life a little bit harder for you. But yeah, if you want to actually make money, you have to be one of really a mixture of all these people, right? The person who's giving picks, which I do think is dangerous, it can hurt your reputation. The person who has the content, and the person who has whatever kind of analytical tool to help you figure out what to buy and what not to buy, even though it's not really accurate and it's really they're just selling you a product. These people, and then the people who maybe get some kind of deal with grading companies, auction houses, and also the companies that produce the product. But yeah, this is the video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you want to hear from me in the future. And peace.